Hello and welcome to this iMovie 11 tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and explain the basics, how to upload video, how to do some modifications, adjustments, and all that stuff. I'm going to give you guys a nice little tour. So we're going to make this short and sweet, and I hope you guys are able to learn something from this tutorial and that it's useful for you guys. You may leave your feedback on my YouTube channel. Alright, first, once we're in the interface here in iMovie, you're going to go ahead and select Create. Go ahead and create a movie. Alright, and once that's getting all sorted out, you can select any theme that you like. I personally, however, prefer to select no theme. These are nice layouts and such, but they give you automatic transitions, and I don't really like that. But if you're learning, if you're a beginner, it's a great idea to use that. But for the example, I'm going to show a no theme. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put example project. Okay. And let's go ahead and leave that in updated projects, and we're going to go ahead and OK it. All right. So this right here, this is my project space. As you guys can see, here's the name of what I just named the project, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and now import some video. Now you can hook up your camera, and iMovie will automatically open it up, or you can upload your video from your USB memory, or you can do it like what I'm doing. I got my video from Photo Booth, for example, and I just clicked and dragged it to the desktop. So let's go ahead and drag this. There's me with my little tiger. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and import the selected. It shouldn't take too long. And as you can see here, here's all the history of things that I've uploaded. The most recent thing that you upload, it's going to be last. So in order to put this here, which is your editing space, you're going to go ahead and you hold down the mouse and you can select everything, or you can just double click and it will select everything. Now remember that this is going to be your editing space. So if there's something in the clip that you do not like, this is the space where you're going to be able to make those modifications or changes. Not here. This is where the original footage is going to be. All right, just so you guys keep that in mind. Okay, now this is called our timeline, this little orange line that's moving here, as you guys can see. In order to browse through your film, you can go ahead and drag the mouse there, move the mouse. In order to play something, press the space bar. Okay, and in order to stop it, you press the space bar again. All right, easy, right? Space to start, space to stop. Okay. Now, if you take a look here, we have transitions, we have titles, maps and backgrounds. You're going to be using this a lot. iTunes, as if maybe you want to add some background music, or you have a track that you want to include in your video. That's great. You can also have access to that too. Here we also do have sound effects and Garageband as well. Okay, so if you are familiar with Garageband, Garageband is really nice because they have jingles. You can work on podcasts there. You can upload that here into iMovie as well. But let's go ahead and just focus on the basics here. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a bit about making some changes. Let's say if I want to go ahead and do the following. Let's say I don't like this last part of my video. So what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and do the following. Okay. Go ahead and close this because I don't want that open. I'm going to go ahead and simply select a small part by holding down the mouse and dragging. Let's say I don't want this 1 second of film. Okay, all you have to do is click and hold down the mouse and drag. And I'm going to simply press the backspace or the delete button. And it's going to go ahead and create a space right here. So as you guys can see, I went ahead and deleted that. If you made a mistake, just Command Z it, and obviously you'll see that it's going to go ahead and go back to the way it was. Okay. Now, as you can see here, I have this little space. What I could do to make it look more attractive or better, I'm going to go ahead and insert a transition. As you can see, these are my no theme transitions. I'm going to go ahead and select the puzzle. You can put whatever you guys like. That's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. Okay, so it gives it a nice little effect. Obviously, you can customize that. You can change it until you're happy with whatever you get. Okay, so there's a lot of different transitions. It depends on your preference. Okay, all right, nice. Okay, so that's the scoop on transitions. Let's go ahead and talk about titles really quick. But before we talk about titles, I'm going to go ahead and mention backgrounds. Now here we have our maps. If you want to be specific, maybe you want to talk about where you did your filming in. That's great. You can insert the country, the city, all that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and use a very simple background though for this example. I'm going to go ahead and use underwater. You can go ahead and scroll and see, if anything tickles your fancy. I'm going to go ahead and select underwater because I am from Florida. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just drag that. Now, as you guys can see here, now I have my little background, right? Now we can go ahead and talk about titles. Let's try that again. Okay. So as you guys can see here, I just put my mouse there, and it'll kind of give me like a little preview, as you can see right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just use this one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click and drag on top. All right, now this is 4 seconds. Let's say if I wanted the title to be shorter, I'm going to go ahead and either drag to the left to decrease the time, or I'm going to increase the time by going to the right. It's just like the numerical timeline. Okay, guys? So just for the tutorial's sake, I'm going to put it a little bit longer. I'm going to go ahead and double click when I'm ready to modify what my text says. This is my stuff. Okay. Now, in some of these, you actually can customize the style, but not in all of them. Okay, so you got to kind of like play around with that. You can change the color by going here. You see that? So you can go ahead and even, whatever works for you. I like using this one because it makes your text stand out a little bit better. So there. Okay, I think that color is good enough. It's good enough for now. Okay. And we're going to press the little check mark that is right here. There it is. Go ahead and go to our timeline, spacebar it, and there we go. Just beautiful. Okay, so that's titles. There's a bunch of titles. For example, this, you can't customize this style. You can't customize this style either. You just have to kind of like play around. This one, it can't be customized. But the ones that already have color, like this one, it can be modified. The color and also the size and even the style. Okay, so you got to just kind of play around with that. All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about iTunes. All right, let's go ahead and talk about. I'm feeling gorillas today, so let's do that. I'm gonna go ahead. Obviously, I have these songs already in my iTunes library. If you don't have any music, well then just ignore this part of the tutorial and fast forward. But if you do want to learn, it's really simple. All you got to do is just click and drag, and you can put it wherever you want to start. Let's say I want it to begin after my title. Let's go ahead and minimize the title just a bit, and let's see what happens. Okay, you guys see what's going on here, right? Okay, very, very simple, very easy. Well, for the tutorial's sake, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can minimize it. You just minimize it by clicking and dragging like this. Let's say if I just want it to be that long. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, and it's going to go ahead and end right there. I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I want to show you guys sound effects now. Okay, let's look here. Now here we have sound effects. This is going to be automatically defaulted from Garageband. So ambient effects, you can go ahead and play them to see what they sound like. Okay, there's a lot of different things here. They have lots of cool sounds. They have cinematic sounds. They have thunder. They have jungle noises, beach noises. They have doorbells ringing, dogs barking. There is a lot of really cool stuff. I like this one. Let's go ahead and put that one. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and put that here. And let's see what happens. There it is. Okay. You guys get the GIFs, right? I can also put bubbles. Ooh. Very nice. Okay. Yeah. You guys just got to take a look at that. That's there for your convenience. Here are the jingles. Jingles are also very fun. You guys definitely should explore those things. GarageBand, this is useful if you have already made a podcast, for example, or if you're working on a jingle that's original, that's yours, or if you're working on a beat or an original song, this is where you would go. Okay. All right, so we just went ahead and talked about that. Now let's go ahead and look here. All right. Now we can go ahead and we can move these up, move these down. You can move all these little circles to customize and give the film an effect that is to your liking. Whoops, there I am. Okay, the same goes for this side. Yeah, you guys can modify that. You can make it warmer, you can make it cooler, all those things. If you made a mistake, don't worry, just press the back button. Nothing's going to happen. If you want to crop your film, this is very, very useful. When you fit it, it's going to usually show this part in black. Sometimes you might have to use that, especially if you're using your mobile device and you record not horizontally but vertically. Okay. When you crop, you can select a specific part of your frame, which just for the tutorial's sake, I'm going to go ahead and select here, and I'm going to press play. So as you can see, it's cropping out everything else that I had in my video. Okay? All right. For the tutorial's sake, we're going to go to fit. All right, and Ken Burns, all that means is that you're going to get a starting point and an ending point. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, I guess, my head, and I'm going to go here. There it is. Okay, so I have cropped this section of my movie.
Okay, I'm just going to use this to
and
teach
as you can
guys
see,
how
it's
to
starting
upload
to move
simple video,
to the stuffed animal's head.
We're gonna rinse it.
Okay, there you guys can see it. Okay, and if you're okay with what's going on there, you just press the apply button. Okay, pretty easy, right? All right, this little guy right here, this is going to be your best friend, especially if you suffer from camera shake. It's just going to automatically stabilize your video. That's all that's for. Okay, here, this is very fun too. Okay, so you can make this louder. Maybe you have a very low voice, and maybe you need to sound a bit louder.
Okay, I'm just going to use this to teach you guys how to upload a simple...
That's what that's for. Okay, and here, let's say if you were maybe doing an interview at school or work, whatever, and there was a lot of interference in the hallway, you can also reduce the background noise. I don't have a good example in this video clip, but it's the same thing. You can go ahead and reduce the sound simply by applying here the little check mark, and you can reduce the noise by increasing the number. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back. Let's talk about this right here. This is fun. I love the video effect option. It really gives life to your clips. It's very fun to use. So you go ahead and click there, and as you guys can see here, there's lots of different styles.
Okay, I'm just going to use this to teach you guys how to upload.
I like this style a lot right here.
Video, okay?
Yeah, so you guys can go ahead and explore those options that are there. Okay. Audio effect. This is also tons and tons of fun. I'm going to show you why. A robot sound.
Okay, I'm just going to use this to teach you guys how to upload a simple video.
Okay, you guys understand. All right, very nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this effect, and that's it. All right. Oopsie. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and go back. And this is what we got so far. This is my stuff. Little effect there.
Okay, I'm just going to use this to teach you guys how to upload a simple video, okay? And sweet. Bye-bye.
Okay, short and sweet, right? Very nice. Pretty much, I mean, that's all the stuff that we have here. Let's say once you are satisfied with the result, all you have to go ahead and do is press share, and this is what happens when you share it. You can share it to your iMovie theater. You can email it. You can send it to iTunes, Vimeo, Facebook, all that stuff. Let's say if you're going to upload your work on Edmodo, which I do use Edmodo quite frequently with my students, or if you want to actually have the original file and then upload it to YouTube, you may go ahead and select File. I personally prefer to do that, but whatever floats your boat, that's good too. All right, so this is a high definition 720 pixel movie that I'm going to export. Obviously, you can change that. Maybe if you don't have a lot of memory, you can minimize it. That's okay. But this is like the standard size right here. If you want to also select here, it will automatically add it to your iMovie theater, which is great. All right. I'm going to go ahead and press next. It's going to go ahead and ask you to name the project. So make sure that you give it a name that you're going to A, remember, and B, it's going to be easy for you to distinguish and find it, okay? All right. Mine was example project. You shouldn't really be saving things on your desktop, but just for the sake of the tutorial, that's what I'm going to do. But you really want to have your desktop nice and clean, and you should definitely have documents instead. All right? Okay. But just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to save it to the desktop. If you want to give it a tag, if you are a Mac user, if that's going to help you find it easier, great. Go for it. I'll go ahead and put a yellow tag. And we're going to make sure that that's on the desktop, and we're going to save that. That's just lovely. Okay. And now if you guys look here, this is how I know that my project is being exported. So obviously it's waiting. It's going through all that process. And here it's going to go ahead and tell me that I have about 4 minutes less. Okay? So here's a little timer. It's very convenient to have it there because it tells you how long it's going to take. This video is very short, so it's not going to really take very long. It usually will take about a minute, sometimes less. When you have videos that are 15 minutes or longer, it can take anywhere from 8 to 20 minutes in order to export that. So if you do have a deadline for an assignment or for a job, whatever it is that you have to do, make sure that you allow yourself enough time to export the project, because that can be very time consuming, okay? And as you guys can see here, it's going to go ahead and say, yay, it was successful, sharing, all that stuff. You can go ahead and close that. And it's going to actually go ahead and show me my project. So I can go ahead and press play. Obviously, your project will be so much better. This was just a short, simple example. Okay?
To teach you guys how to...
All right. And that's it. So just keep in mind, all of these are your tools. These are your libraries. These are very useful when you guys are looking for things that you have already uploaded into your iPhoto library, for example. Remember to import any video that you have here. When you want to create a new movie, it's here. And when you want to share, here. Okay? So when you want to go ahead and check things that you've already done, you can go ahead and press theater. Remember that option that asked if you wanted to save it to theater at the end? You may do that as well. So anyways, I hope that this tutorial is helpful and that it helps you guys to get a jump start on iMovie 11. I look forward to hearing about your exciting movie projects. Thank you and good luck.